Hey, welcome to Graphopology Television GPTV. I'm Brett. It's Tuesday, so we're doing our Trade Tuesday, where we go and review trade paperbacks and graphic novels. In my hand is an upcoming graphic novel from Dead Reckoning. It's a new publishing venture from Naval Press. And basically, it is a graphic novel line focused on war comics, telling military stories. We did a review of one of the releases, The Stand. They've got 4 releases coming out on September 15th, their first launch. This is one of them called Trench Dogs. It's by Ian Densford. So basically this is, it's inspired by a bunch of first-hand accounts about World War I. It's a sweeping look across the trenches, the war zone. It starts from horse-drawn carts and it goes into the sea, and we get to see some of the horrors of World War I. The use of chemicals, people just obviously murdering each other up close. The numerous dead, the horrible ramifications. It's mostly a wordless graphic novel. There's very little actual text, and I don't think there's actually like 2 words really said between people. Someone might say something like charge. And it feels like Ian Densford is attempting to trying to, I don't want to say replicate, but definitely doing like an homage to Mouse in many ways, with the various groups fighting in World War I being represented by different types of animals. The look at the battle is done from a really high view, and it's very cinematic in a way where it basically one scene flows into the next, and takes you to a different situation. You might be in battle, focus on someone who's been injured, then you follow that injured person off into a medic tent, which then pans off to a different character. It's kind of, in a way, feels like a tracking shot, like a one-camera tracking shot in that. The concept is really great. The idea of following through a battle in a war like that, I think, is really interesting. The idea of doing kind of like this tracking shot is the camera pan is fascinating. Not something I can really think of being done in comics before, or at least I haven't really checked it out before. The execution, though, I think leaves a bit to be desired. Part of my issues with it is that, without a lot of characters being, like, known, it's kind of hard to really attach to yourself to any of them. Some people get murdered, people get killed, people die, people do horrible things to each other, and it just kind of happens, and at no point do I feel, like, horrified that this is happening. It's just kind of like you're following the flow. So there's a weird detachment from that. The next is the art isn't, I think, detailed enough. There's so much in there, so many characters. A lot of the character detail is muddied. Again, making it difficult to tell who's who or what's going on. It's a great concept. It just doesn't work. Let me try to find some of what's going on here. So we've got art like this, and we get to see dogs in trenches, and no one's named. It's just characters. It's just various characters off of it, and that's whatever letter that they sent pitching all the stuff. And you can see the art style. The art style is interesting, but again, there's just this kind of disconnect between a war story and it. And yeah, this is one that I think is, the concept's better than the actual what's actually produced. So yeah, I'm loving concept. I'm loving what Dead Reckoning's doing. Naval Institute Press, I think, has got a potential hit on their hands with their imprint. It's got some great ideas. This is just one, while interesting, I don't think quite was one to lead with as far as a graphic novel. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's going to be other critics and reviewers who are going to really dive in and say, no, this is brilliant for X, Y, and Z, but I think as a story-wise, I just wasn't into it. I don't think that the camera pan quite works the way that Densford is hoping it to it. The the characters are so alike, you kind of lose yourself as to who you should really care about and be focusing on. The differences of like the various groups and what animals they represent never quite you never quite get a reason of why it should be that. So it really feels like it's a cinematic thing mixed with Mouse, but kind of missing that depth of Mouse. Some of that like deeper dive into the things to really explore. So yeah, it's just not one I can recommend. It's $18.95. Gonna be out September 15th. It's about where I'm at. Like, if you're really into war stories and that sort of art, go for it. But for me, I think there's better stuff out there. Dead Reckoning definitely got better graphic novels out there to start. So this one, to me, is one of the probably one I would pass for Dead Reckoning. I hate to say it. So yeah, I do appreciate Dead Reckoning hooking us up with this. I don't think this is going to be in comic shops, at least not right away. You can definitely get it from the Naval Institute Press site. We'll have a link for that. I believe you should be able to get this through Amazon as well. We'll have links for that as well. Amazon will be an affiliate link, so we do get a small percentage of that, but by purchasing through that, you do support our site, so thank you very much. And of course, again, I want to thank Dead Reckoning for hooking us up with this review copy. Sorry they can't all be winners. We also like to be transparent as to what we get for free, so you can make a determine as to how full of it we are. But listen, if I'm giving something a bad review, then it's pretty clear we're not being bought off with free review copies. Now, if you're into graphic novels, comic books, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.